Morning, everyone. John here, Mr. Forex Fire. It's 8:45. It's 8:45, and it is the 17th of February, Thursday. So yesterday was a big test. I tried to factor in a couple of things other than staying on the plan. Sometimes things get the better of you. Again, I'm not perfect. I don't profess to be perfect. But when it went against us, we just showed resilience, kept our cool, and traded the most important part of the plan, which was the risk management and things like that. So if you just bear with me, because the charts are going a little crazy today. Let's get that on there. Right, so we're just going to head over to the charts, okay? And it's starting early. And we'll have a look, set up a chart, and then we'll pause the video and then record as we go along, okay? So just gonna share the screen. So I've changed everything to a light theme on this end and kept the other side dark for the alerts for today. Australian dollar card, 1 hour. Click on our harmonics, we can see that we've got one here. So we're gonna set this up. So we've got the X, here, B, C, D, okay. We'll get rid of the I, so it just takes away the noise. Go to the pitchfork. And we have a setup there at the moment. The whole suite, going down to 15 minutes. What I want to do is go up there. Now, the other thing that we're going to do today, guys, okay, we're going to do from the pivot points. We're going to go. There's one there. So we're going to be doing this in the levels as well, okay? Method in the madness with this. You can see how it's come up, bang, respect, bang, respect, bang, and then it's come back through. So we can work within levels with this. Heiken-Ashi, that's hollow. One, Heiken-Ashi. Add an alert. So when something goes off, I just want to be alerted on that. And again, as always, guys, let's go on to the account. 315, as always. We were in quite a bit of drawdown. Yes, about £200, which is under half of what your drawdown would be. Just under the half amount of what your drawdown would be on a 10K. It's fun to challenge. This is how we're treating this, okay? Again, from there, we've got our setup for today on one chart at least anyway. We've got the harmonic scan, we've got the pitchfork, and then we've factored in levels on this as well. So if we come and break structure in one particular area, we're going to wait for a bounce and retest coming down to the other side, okay? At the moment, this is shown as a buy down on the 15 minutes. We'll go on the 5 minutes. It's still coming down on a sell point. So I'm not gonna try and get into something early the day. Gonna take me time this time, because the last couple of days we've entered in quite early. Okay, so I think we've learned from that sort of side of the lesson. We'll see what happens when we get a few buy and sells. So I'm going to pause the video for now. I'll look for a couple of more setups, and if I see anything, we'll put them on a pink ticket today, so we can work through off the pink tickets. Okay, I'll see you all in a bit. Hi guys, so looking at this a little bit more, we've got the 5 minute order card. We're coming down. Okay, we've got our levels set. And I'm sitting on my hands at the moment because I'm just going to see if we get a retracement back up to here. If we get a retracement back up to this area, I might get in on a sell. Okay, I don't want to get in on a sell just yet, simply because if we do get a retracement, we're going to be around about 10 pips of drawdown, you know, and we want to try and get in at the best price. Yes, it's telling us as a sell, but when we spoke about flat top candles, we had a flat top candle here. We had a wick straight away up to the top side, one flat top candle, but now we've got wickiness in here. So this is going to tell me there's going to be a little bit more of a push up, maybe towards this level. We may get a push up towards this level, and then it might spring down. It might come back up, but then it might come up and then do a continuation down, if that makes sense, and do that sort of thing. So I'm going to wait, anticipate the move. I'm not going to jump straight in. On the higher time frame, the 15 minutes still playing out, okay, flat bottom candle, but we haven't gotten the sell on the 15 minute either. It's still telling us there's a buy on there, but there is downward pressure coming below the hull, okay. But on the 5, as we go down, that pressure is shown on here as the sell. But again, we've had some buyers coming in here, and there is still some wickiness. Overall, what you're needing to see is flat top candles on the downtrend, and we're not getting that clearly enough on here at the minute. Okay, so we're just going to hold out, let this play. I was thinking about getting in a little bit early and splitting the lot sizes, but it's too close to the bottom. I mean, I know we've got the pitchforks on the diagonal, but I'm using these levels as well from the pivotal points of the pitchfork, okay? So it's imperative that we take our time with you, see what we can get out of it. It is Thursday. I'm only going to stick with this chart today, see what we can get from it, see if we can work it to our favor. So I'm going to go make a coffee. I'm just waiting for a phone call as well from the hospital, and I won't be long. I'll be back on the charts in a minute. Right, guys, so as anticipated, if my phone goes, which it's due to any second, mind, I'll have to pause and then jump back onto the recording in a minute, because I'm waiting for a call from my rheumatologist at the hospital. So as anticipated, we are getting that push back up towards this level, okay? Now, what I want to do is I'm going to get into a position now, and then obviously if we go further up into here, I'll go for another position, okay? So if I just go into trade, we'll do a sell limit. We'll do a 0.30. Yesterday, we had an issue with the take profits and the stop losses. I'm just going to set these up. I'm going to put a sell limit in there, okay, for when it's placed. I can drag my stop loss down now, okay. So the stop loss to around about here. Bring the take profit to 2 levels down. Okay, so I'm going to bring that to there. I'll probably factor in another sell limit a little bit higher up. Okay, on another 0.3. So the preference on doing that is simply because if I was going to put a 0.5 or a 0.6 on overall, okay, instead of just going from one entry point and then it flushing me out, I would rather have a second chance of getting in a tighter area. And if it comes in, pings that first entry and then shoots the take profit, happy days, I've still got profit. However, if it does shoot through the first sell limit and then hits the second and then comes down and pings through it, it just means I'm getting a second entry at a better, tighter area. And then obviously the other third scenario is if it pushes through the first sell limit, pushes through the second sell limit, hits that stop, overall, I've only lost what I would have originally put on the first sell limit, if that makes sense, okay? So we'll just stick that on, bring the stop loss down to the same area. And then we'll bring the take profit to the same area as well. Method in the madness with this, guys. Again, the accounts, we are a couple of pounds in profit. Hopefully, being a bit more settled and engaged on this, we're going to be sort of looking. Excuse me. We're going to be looking at sort of calming ourselves down and looking a bit more rational, you know. I was getting in on a market execution. However, we do know the D point is here. I'm expecting this to come up towards the first level, okay? The first level from the D point. So I'm going to get in a little bit earlier. If it comes out and it does give a little bit of drawdown, okay? So if it pushes up from what we were expecting, gets our first sell limit, there's every chance it might just push off that from a little bit of drawdown of this area, okay? And then it might come down to our take profit. However, it might come down to our take profit here, okay? However, there may be where it's going to come up like what we were expecting, okay? And it's going to push through this. And it might even push through the first level from the D point and give us at a quarter point bounce off the second sell limit. If it does that, we are hoping then it comes down to then give us the better entry, but then you've got double the fun, you've got double the money. And it's not risking any more than what you would normally do, because initially on this area here, you possibly may have been just doing a 0.5, okay, or a 0.6 overall on a sell limit. So you're just condensing and breaking the trade up that you were going to edge yourself into. It just means that if scenario A, which is this one, plays out, you still started the trade with nothing, and then if it comes, hits that sell limit and goes straight down to take profit, you're still in profit, so there's nothing to worry about. This way is a much smarter way of trading, in my opinion, if that makes sense. And we'll just see what happens with this. And like I say, we see if it plays out. There's a good chance to get some nice little bits of profit. I'm not looking at these shaded areas for target areas. I'm working upon pivot points inside of the pitchfork, if that makes sense. So price can move up and move down. I just want these to be levels of where I expect price to come to. The first preference is this area here, okay? That was it. That was the D point, okay? Next level down. That's where we currently heading towards. We came down, it said there was a sell. I said there was going to be some form of retracement coming back to these areas, and that's where I'm edging my money towards, okay? We can see, yes, as we've come down, there's now starting to be buyers in control. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Split that trade up into two different areas. Anticipate that, yes, the D point could be the stop loss area, but if it works its way towards that, you've got the chance of getting a second sell limit area, and then you might get the push down into this, okay? So we'll play with that today, see how this goes, and then we'll come back to the trade in a while. Going to jump off, keep it paused, and then we'll go back on the recording in a second. Okay, guys, I'll see you in a bit. All right, guys, it's now 10 o'clock. I've had my phone call, so we'll have a quick look on the chart to see where we are, because I heard something ping while we were on there. Share the screen. We can see that we've gotten in on an entry to the wick. Look at that. To the pip. Look at that. The pip entry. Got some nice profits coming in now, around about £3 odd. Again, got our take profit down here. If it comes to this level, we've got a nice £42 profit. Again, this one here would be 54. So let's say for example, this one shoots down. It's 40 odd pound of profit. Okay, happy days. I'm not going to grumble at that. We've built the account. However, if we go into a little bit of drawdown, we get the second entry, and then we shoot down to scenario B. We've taken £100 off the table. For me, that works better than trying to sort of put all the eggs in one basket. It's just letting you sort of edge your bets, if that was to make sense. So I've taken a much more methodical approach with this morning. I'm not going to try and look for too many entries. Look for one chart. Look for one field of play with the pitchfork. Look for one directional bias and work upon that with the one pair, and that's what we're going to do for ending the session of this week, because I don't tend to trade on a Friday. I trade Monday to Thursday, to be fair. We'll see how this plays out. I'm going to pause the video. I'm now going to have a short break. Going to go and make a cup of tea, possibly a little snack, and I'm waiting for a follow-up call again from the hospital. So I will be back in due course. Let's see how this plays out. If it's successful, it's successful. If it goes against us, it goes against us. We just see and understand why something may have went against us, and then we move forward from there. Okay, guys? So I'll see you all in a bit. Hi, guys. It's now just after 10:30. So we spoke about just staying on this one chart, okay, and having that pattern. But also, I know a lot of people going about smart money and things like that. There's also what I like to call a method, which is it's like smart trading as such, okay? Because, like I say, it's just something that I've started doing a lot recently, where I'll factor in what I'm willing to go to as my pain and pressure points, which is obviously your drawdown, okay? And I've always been a kind of guy where I've got everything set up, and when we go to here, which is the entry area, I'm going to go in. That's my lot size. That's what I'm willing to risk overall. And then I'm like, yeah, that's me. That's that trade sorted. But at times you don't win everything. Okay, so what's happened is we'll come into drawdown, and then hits that top end, it knocks you straight out. So then you've lost that lot size there. So then I thought, well, why don't we split the hairs and just like say, right, well, this is the area that I'm willing to risk. Use half of what I was originally going to risk on this entry point, okay? And again, I said this just before, if that hits that and then goes down to the TP, happy days, I've won, okay? However, if instead of using, let's say, a 0.6 on the lot size, which is what I'm using today, and in that area, as soon as it hits the entry, 0.6, no, we hit that, 0.3, we go down, take profit, fair enough, we still end the day in profit. However, if it comes into halfway, okay, we'll trigger up another 0.3. And then if it goes down, you've edged your bets and you've edged your risk, okay? And you can grab a little bit more out of the trade. Now, let me just show you something here. And you'll see this is the case of what's happened right now. On here, we've come up, we've tested the area to the pip, okay? It was a calculated measure, okay, with regards to a pullback. Did it on this one here. We go down to the 5 minutes. Get on the 5 minute. You can see we did it here, and then it's come up and it's tested it on here. Now we're in a little bit of profit at the moment on the second entry, drawdown on the other. So we are eating into our overall 10K. However, if what I was anticipating comes through for us, and it comes down to the take profit areas, based upon those two areas, there's a good £100 taken off the table there today. Okay, as you've seen me earlier on do that. I might factor in coming out earlier, if I'm honest with you, because again, this is a marathon, it's not a sprint. I'll be happy with 40 or 50 quid today. So I might monitor this. It might very well continue to go up and shoot through the stop losses. Okay, I have moved the stop loss just above the D point and the outer field of play area. Okay, so I'm going to continue to monitor this. We'll see what happens with it. I'm not going to rush into it. This is a forward test after all. And I'm just trying to factor in different things each day. Okay, so we've tried the process of a couple of different sort of pairs the other day. Got in a little bit too early just the other day and managed to bring that back. Now we're starting to work upon the levels of these pivotal point areas, okay? And you can see it's just from the medium one, you've got bang, it's respected here. Next one up, it's respecting the next one up, it's respecting the next one. And I think this could be the way forward, because there is another technique that I use, which is not harmonics. It's called the fire levels, where we base it upon the previous daily candle, which would be the daily wick high, the daily wick low, the daily open high, and the daily close low, you know. So we'll see what happens with this, see how it goes. We can only but monitor it. Again, using it on the 315 demo account. We're in small drawdown at the moment. But again, I'm not too worried if it goes against us. It's just something that we can look at and monitor and understand why it's gone against us. So let's just see what happens with this throughout the day. I'm going to go and see to the dog, let the dog out, I think, because I've got a little Yorkie Terrier and she needs to go out in the garden, to be fair. So I'll not be long. I'll not be long, guys. I'll be back on in a short while. Hi, guys. So we're back again. It's got a few hours now. I'm just about to have my dinner. We're going to share the screen, see where we are. So as you can see, we come up, and it was the right move to move my stop losses just above the field of play of the D point. Okay, this level here, it's a good level, to be fair. It's a good buffer zone. It's the 1.1 I use. From there, we've now started coming into the downturn. As I said before, and I'll say this many times, smart trading is the way forward, rather than putting your whole lot size on one area. Okay, if you take away what I've got there, that there would be even more drawdown if I was put the whole 0.6 lot sizes, which is what I would have used. Okay, instead I broke it down to two areas. So I put a 0.3 here and I put a 0.3 here. Because we come up and we went into drawdown and touched this area, this is now coming back into play. I'm now into a nice little bit of profit, and we are heading towards the first port of entry. Okay, with just a little bit of drawdown from yesterday's equity cashback. Again, I'm quite confident that we should hopefully continue down here, bearing in mind that we'll probably take some profits off here. Okay, I think that's going to be, let's take a look. I'll take it off it there. It's going to be around about a 30 quid of profit on that one. That's based upon the second partial entry. Okay, this one here, so that one there, if I left it to go to there, that'll be a further 40 quid on that. So we've got a good chance of getting about 50, 60, 70 quid. I'm going to keep monitoring this throughout the day to see where we are. Again, I'm going to pause the video. We'll be back a little while longer. Hopefully this is going to start giving the selling power and push down. What I may do as it gets on a little bit later, I may even close out both of these as we hit towards this level here. Okay, because as you can see, pivot point, we've smashed through this level here. Hopefully it's going to, hopefully it's going to come down to this level. I don't think I want to keep going to the bottom of this level, to be fair. I'd be happy if it come towards this next level here, as it's already crashed through here. So that's the target I'm going to go for. See if we can get some good profit. You can see now we're pushing into the profit area. And I think I will set an alarm. I'll set the alarm for about halfway, and then I'll reassess once we hit that. I might even close out when we get to this alarm if it reaches there, because after all, profit is profit. It's already smashed through that. Look at that, it's starting to go. So what we could do, we could bring this to a risk-free, modify that. So that now was a risk-free trade. It owes me nothing. I will place the alarm here. This will tell me if it's going back to the stop loss. And in fact, it's doing that now. That might close us out. Let's have a look. Set the alarm to here. you want this to go back into profit? I want this one to come into a little bit of profit. I might even think about closing it out early, to be fair. There we go. That's going into a bit of profit now, or it was. Because I can't be at the computer for too long. I've got a few things to get sorted this afternoon, you know. So I don't want to be leaving trades running if I can help it. I would have ideally liked both of these to be crashing down underneath this profit area, so then I could have them running at risk-free, if that makes sense. We are in a little bit of profit this morning, so I might think about closing this out. Time's it now? It's getting on to 20 past 2. Right. Yeah. I'm going to close the positions out. We're now in profit. I'm just going to have a quick chat. Right. So reasons why I've closed out. We could have went on to got like 50, 60, 70 pounds. But again, guys, I've got other things that's going to be interfering with what I'm doing trading wise today. One thing I've learned over the last couple of days and forward testing this is don't get any distractions, you know. So I've got a lot going on with my personal side of life, which is my rheumatology and things like that, and the meds. I've got to go and pick up my new meds that I'm having to take alongside the other stuff that I've got at the moment. So I've got to go and pick those up from the hospital this afternoon, as well as do the school run. But overall, I hope that makes a lot of sense with regards to smart trading, where you are applying, that's your risk tolerance, okay? And you've got an entry, but then you have an area where you're happy to split the trade, so you've got a better sort of a better risk to reward once it comes into that. Because overall, like what just happened there, and I spoke about this morning, it happened, it come to fruition, it bounced into that drawdown. Was I worried? No, it just give me that second entry based upon the 0.6 I was going to apply, breaking it into 2 areas. It then come down, broke. It didn't go heavily from the first entry into loads of profit, but there was enough from that second entry where it's coming down for me to take money off the table. And yes, I've got that set up as a 10k account. Yes, it's only what at the minute profit wise. Yes, it's only £14.60. £14.60 might not break the bank. It might not be lots of money, but the thing is, if you consistently can do that day in, day out, okay, 3-4 days a week, by the end of that week, you got 30, 40, 50, 60 quid. I could have technically had that keep running. I may have even been able to do the trade from my phone and control it from the phone, but I don't want to do that. I want to do it where I'm sitting in front of the computer and then be able to forward test it that way. So I'm pretty chuffed with the way how that's gone today. We concentrated on one solitary chart setup. We looked at an entry, and not only looking at the entry, we broke that entry down to, this is my entry, this is my tolerance level, this is where I would like it to go to. However, based upon the entry, we're going to split what I would normally lock in on my general trade into 2 areas. So the halfway point of the risk tolerance of the risk drawdown is where I'll take a second position on the eventuality that it goes into that. If it wasn't to touch that from the entry and then hit the TP, then happy days, I've still scored with profit. If it did go into that drawdown, which it has done, and I'm glad it has done, because it's emphasized and sort of highlighted exactly what I'm saying. There's smart money and there's a smart way to trade, and being able to break your trades down to smaller lot sizes and saying, right, well, that's my stop loss area. Let's factor in stages where I can put in an extra 0.1, or in my instance, it was a 0.3. And because I can't be at the chart all day, when that hit that second entry and then it came down, I was still able to kill the trade early. Okay. Looking at it, there's a lot of you probably said you could have just left it to run. Yes, I could have, but again, I started on just over, I think it was £4 a profit a day. I'm getting over a 10. I'm happy with that. It lets me fight another trade on the next day. Fridays, I don't trade at all. I do look at the charts. And I practice my setups, but I won't live trade. Later on today, I will be setting up a few things on the New York session for the Discord channel. If you're not already part of that, just give me a shout and I'll get you inside of there. I'll be looking at some fire trades for those guys. Generally look for 1 or 2 trades a day for those at the moment. And as the summer months come in, those 2 trades a day end up being 4 or 5 trades a day, because I wait for the volatility and the volume to come back into the markets after the Christmas holiday. So again, guys, it's been a good session. I've enjoyed it. Set the parameters up, met my expectations, beautifully come into that second traded area from the drawdown, was in a little bit of drawdown for the best part of about an hour to 2 hours, but that was my risk tolerance. And I was expecting for that push to come. It came, and eventually we got our profits for the day. Just going to share the screen one more time because I just want to see if it's pushed any further. Again, we broke through this level. Okay. We broke through this level. I got out here and it looks like it was a good move, because now it's just starting to push back up. You see where the arrow is here? That's where I closed out my trade. It's starting to push back up. It looks like it'll possibly go back to this level and then more. But I've done the right thing getting it out there. Yes, I could have let it run, but it might have taken it a few more hours to get down to the overall level. But again, good session. If you've got any comments, questions, or anything, just drop them below. If you're enjoying the content that I'm doing, please hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification. I'm not, and again, at the end of the day, I'm not here to be perfect. Nobody's perfect in trading, okay? There's just a process and a level that you can go through to become consistent. And that's why I sort of built this Discord channel. It was to give a free resource hub community where people can come in and feel safe, where they're not getting pushed on a high ticket selling point or a high ticket membership. Because in this area, we do trade together. We learn together and we win together, or we learn together, trade together and win together, you know. So again, there's no high ticket offers and whatever else that's inside of there. It's just a real good family vibe feel trading together in there. Okay, guys. And again, if you're not in there, just reach out to me. I'll get you inside. There's no bother with that. And that's it for the end of the week for me. Other than this afternoon, I'm going to be doing a couple of trades for the guys in the group. Just have a fantastic weekend, guys. I always take Friday off personally from trading live, but I will be looking at the charts anyway, just to keep up with the news and things like that. So thank you very much. Please give it a thumbs up, and I'll catch us all on the session on Monday, because I might continue this on the Monday. I'll do this up until next week, okay, which will be the end of the month, just about, for February. And then what we'll do is when we go into March, I might start doing the Harmonic Fire version of this, where it's not the pitchforks, it's just the fibs. So we're going to be transitioning from the fire pitchforks over to the simple fire harmonic levels. Okay, I'll see you all later.